Hey guys, welcome this morning to the Pizza Roll Diaries. This is the V-Man from No Budget Productions, and with me today is, well, a guy with the invisible cup there, Frank from Phil Ferret Productions. How are we doing this morning, Frank?
Doing great. Exhausted, but doing great. Had a fantastic weekend.
I was about to say, besides your slippery pole there that you had, you were at a Atomicon.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, you had quite the busy weekend. You were blowing off my calls from last night. You were so exhausted, and yeah, you had quite the time from what I hear. But before we delve into that, we have a couple people in the chat with us this morning. We have William Wells. How are we doing, William? Glad to have you with us, man. We have the Cat Man. D.D. Myers, welcome, man. Glad to have you with us. Let's see. We have Steve Atwell, my good buddy Quorath.
How you doing, Quorath? Steve. See William Wells, D.D.
Let's see. All right. So with that being said, I'm sure we'll have some people stumbling through here. Before we delve into your weekend and how it went, tomorrow morning we have a special edition of the Pizza Roll Diaries. We have Amy Page, the actress who played Nancy Zing from Constar Chronicles. She'll be joining me. Then we have on Friday, we have a special edition of the Pizza Roll Diaries. We have Davin Anderson. He wrote the book Vampire Syndrome, and he'll also be reading a chapter a month of his book for the channel. So that being said, I figured it would be nice for you guys to get to know him before he actually starts reading a little bit of his book, just to get to know him. He's a cool guy, fun guy. I've known him for years, and figured you guys might want to get to know him too. So that being said, we've got more stuff coming. We're also reading from Adega Outlaw's book. He's been nice enough to let us take chapters from his book, and I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, so I may have to call him up and be like, "How do you pronounce this book?" Oh, he's actually here in the chat. Good morning, Adega Outlaw. How are we doing this morning, bud? But he'll be letting us use his chapters from his book. So that'll be a weekly program that we do. So we have two great authors letting us use their books, so that you guys have something else besides, me and Frank to watch. And then don't forget, right. And then don't forget, we are doing, this week, we're having 7 new content creators come on and, for your guys' pleasure, having their own shows to, do their own content, just to give you guys something different. They enjoy it. Hopefully you guys will too. Okay, so Adega, he's pronounced it Alganza.
Alganzu.
Alganza. Adega, is that am I not butchering it right? Because I butcher a lot of things. Am I doing that correct? Alganza. I'm assuming I am. So all right. Okay, I got a thumbs up from Adega. Alganza. All right.
All right. Fans, just hang with me here. Pronounce T-O. Pronounce T-O.
What?
Pronounce the word T-O.
2.
All right. Pronounce the word T-W-O.
2.
All right. What's the last name of the person who wrote Huckleberry Finn?
Clemens?
That was his. What's the other name?
Sawyer?
No.
Wait. What? I don't know. What are you talking about?
His first name is Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Right. What is it? TW. Okay, so put all three of those words together. Two. Come on, you can do it.
Dude, you confused me. Like, I feel like my head's swimming.
All right, so what was the first word I asked you to do?
Two.
And what's the next one?
Two.
And what was the last one? Come on.
Twain.
Okay, so next week we teach you how to say locomotive.
God damn you. I hate you. Fuck you, dude. This is why you're only a guest from time to time. Oh, damn it. You're my partner now, too. I hate you. Oh, shoot. Oh, man.
Do that to Royce.
Oh, man. Sound it out. Sound it out.
Use your words.
I feel like in Dumb and Dumber. Ah, shoot. Oh, man. So we have William Jackson also in the morning chat. He says, "Good morning, Adega. Isn't it just so brighter that Adega's here? I feel so good."
He knew who Twain was.
Shut up, Frank. And we have Ian Mitchell in the chat here today.
Oh, Ian! Wait a minute, hold it. I mean, like, Ian, I've got something for you. Hang on.
He does.
All right, Ian, I've been waiting for this. Wait a minute, let me see. There we go. I won't have this on the entire thing, but okay. All right, here you go, buddy. I've been waiting. Yeah.
And you wonder how we keep like people coming back to the chats. It's, you know. Get out of the camera shot, Frank.
Oh my goodness! Sorry, I'm gonna go back to the other.
Oh Lord. Oh man.
Oh, good heavens. Oh, there we go.
He says that is so you, man. And that is how we keep our subscriber base. That it's not about the fan films, dude. It's the stripper ball.
No. Adega, what I do is I tell him I'll take my clothes off if you don't pay me. It's funny that way.
Oh Lord, you missed the grease stains. And in the chat we have Jim Lewis in the chat this morning. Guten Morgen. Well, hello, Jim. How are we doing, man? I hope that tripod helped yesterday with the shooting that you had, man. I hope that helped, because I'm missing my tripod this morning, so I'm having to lean my phone against a hole puncher. So that's why I'm at a weird camera angle. So I hope it helped. I feel slanted. You're looking up my nose this morning, guys. New Vance logo for Orville. No, that will not be the new Orville. Oh, he says it worked very well. I'm glad, man, dude. I'm really glad, dude. And seriously, I think it costs like $15. Those things are the little tripods for the phone. those things, I was very apprehensive to get one, but Mr. Raygun, he he was very adamant. He was like, "No, dude, if I'm going to edit your films, you've got to have one." So he sent me one, and then mine broke because my contractor, he was supposed to come through the door, but he knocked on it, and I was like, "Damn it, come in!" And I went to get up from filming, and it tipped over, and in slow mo, I was like, "No!" And it tipped over and broke, and I was like, "God dang it!" So my wife actually ordered 2 of them. So like, those things are a lifesaver. So Jim,
Yeah, they're not
like,
bad at all.
no, they're like, for real, Jim. They're worth the buy. And then we also have in the chat USS ARNG. How are we doing this morning, man? Welcome, welcome. So yeah, Jim says $16 actually. Okay, yeah, that extra dollar. That, you know, yeah, they're worth the price. Yeah, they really are. So okay, so this morning we do have with us my partner. I know you guys are used to hearing him, especially Ian there.
Thank you for coming, even though I'm here again. So.
But we do have you had an exciting weekend. You left Friday. You were kind of MIA for a little bit. You know, we had a special Thursday night, critical, not cynical, just because you weren't going to be there Friday. So tell us all about where you were at, what you were doing, and the connections you made, how much fun you had. Because with a year of COVID, hold on just a second. Jim asks if he can plug his new show. Let me go ahead and plug your new show. Jim has a new show. It's coming out Sunday. It's called The Captain's Log. It's one of the 7 new shows that we have coming out with new content creators. I reached out to a bunch of new people, friends who were either at home due to either COVID or sickness or something, or people who just, you know, had a little extra time on their hands, who were like, man, you know, I've got a small channel. I'm not reaching a large audience, you know, or people who just had something to say, who I was like, you know, I think you come here. I've got an audience. Talk to them. You know, I want to hear what you have to say. You know, so I kind of thought, you know, instead of going to like 15 different channels, why don't we all present? You know, every person would have like their own day. So every day at noon, everybody's going to have their own slot. So if you stop back at the channel at noon on Monday, you'll hear somebody. Tuesday, you come at noon, you'll hear somebody. Wednesday at noon, you'll hear somebody. So on Sunday, you're going to hear Jim and his new show called The Captain's Log. And he's just going to tell his thoughts on Star Trek and whatever topic for Star Trek he has for that day. So it's my way of giving back, just like I've done with fan films. I give back to the community in that way, giving people parts. And this is my way of giving back to you guys, just trying to give you guys something different with my channel, trying to give you guys something a little bit different. So stop by every day at noon and you'll get something a little bit different from the channel, you know, on top of the other stuff that we provide. So anyway, back to you, Frank. So you left Friday in a COVID world for what?
Okay, well, let me predicate a couple of things. Donna and I are big con goers. We have been going to cons for a long, long time. So, and I've been a chair of Con Carolinas. She's worked registrations at Con Carolinas for a long time. That's our local con. And we go to cons all over the Southeast. You know, if I go to a Filking con, you know, sometimes it's Ohio. I've been to, you know, Toronto for Filk, Ontario. But we are a big convention family. So, of course, this last year and a half or year and whatever has been hell on the convention community. And we've had online conventions and stuff like that. But no matter what it is, online just doesn't give you that camaraderie. You know, you don't see your friends. I mean, you talk to them like we've been. And of course, we had the opportunity this weekend to go back to one of our favorite cons that our very good friend Janet ran, and I would pronounce Janet's last name if I could. It begins with an I and is this long. So, but anyway, Janet
Hold on, Frank. So let me get this straight. The person who is helping me sound it out can't sound out her last name?
Would you like me to pull it up for you, buddy?
I'm good.
I can get you. Trust me.
I'll let it go. I'll let it go.
Be careful.
Continue.
I think it's Ayanaku or something along those lines. But anyways, yeah, there are some. Yeah, when I used to work the phones at Bank of America before I got into Tier 3, you're supposed to repeat everybody's name on there, and some of them just no way. You know, I can see some of these countries, especially some with long last names, they must go around their military uniforms in a big rubber band.
Right.
However, I digest. Yeah, so we had the opportunity of going to one of my favorite little cons. Janet has been a very good friend of ours for years. She worked the dealer's room at Con Carolinas for years, was part of the con committee. So she started her little con a few years ago down in North Charlotte. I apologize, North Charleston, South Carolina. It's called Atomicon. And it's more of a literary con. They have literary guests down there who read and stuff like that. They also have a film track. Her daughter, Michelle, is very heavy into video. And of course, that was always interesting to me. And we have a fairly decent filking track, which for those who don't know what filk is, it's scientific folk music. So I was down there helping run the filking track. I was also down there to promote Crossroads. And of course, the biggest thing we went down there for was to see our friends and to be able to actually go out. And since everybody at that convention already had their vaccinations, actually hug and touch people. We had to wear masks because of still the indoor thing. That was fine. I had no problems with that. But just be able to see and be able to communicate with people I haven't seen in a good year and a half, and in some cases 2 years, because not everybody goes to, if you missed last year, I didn't see it. It was just fantastic. It was just fantastic.
So you guys still, even though you guys were all vaccinated, how do you know you guys were all vaccinated?
Well, we figured it this way, and this is fans of science fiction, fans in general, tend to be more on the moderate liberal side. We tend to believe in science. We tend to, understand this type. So everybody may not have been vaccinated, but we figured that the majority were definitely, from there. And just in a couple of our panels, we were discussing whether you had the Moderna, and in every panel I was in, 8, 9, 10 people, you'd go, how many people are vaccinated? And we all raise our hands, and that is, we didn't ask for cards or anything like that. Though Michelle was doing a shoot there, and she did some filming, and everybody on her set had to prove that they either were vaccinated or had gotten a COVID test, for that particular thing. So, and of course, we all were under strict mask guidelines, hotel and our policy. So.
Well, I think that's one of the things, given the fact that we've taken, because I've taken both the shots myself. Which one was it? The Pfizer?
Yeah, Pfizer.
Yeah, Pfizer. It's, I still wear my mask when I'm, supposed to wear, whatnot, just because it's like I don't want to, get it and then pass it to someone, just because I can't get it. or if I do, it's lower, effects. I don't want to pass it to, like my father-in-law who,
Oh, absolutely.
But it's one of those things where it's like, even, until we get those numbers like way down, we want to err on the side of caution. But I think it's, given the fact that like when Mona, before this whole thing started, like Mona used to take Royce all the way across country, just doing God knows what. And like on a Saturday, I would be like, nope, I'm going to skip it today. I'm going to binge watch whatever on Netflix and just relax, and, it's been so long since she's been able to do that. We've all kind of been stuck in that mindset of sitting at home, to be able to actually go out and hug, and to see others that you haven't in so long. It's, don't get me wrong, like I enjoy seeing your mug, every Friday and, the occasional Monday, but to see, someone live in person, to get that hug, there's nothing that substitutes, that human connection. We're human creatures. We need that physical contact. In the chat is Lady Q on IMVU. Welcome.
Hey,
Darth Haster.
Is it Haster? Yeah, I can't read. I don't have my glasses on.
And I also saw Jim's landscape. Welcome. And Robert Pearson. Welcome.
Oh, I didn't see Robert. Oh, Robert must have just come in.
Yep, he just came in. Yeah. But that's the thing that I was so happy when you told me you were going to be able to go. Because we've all this whole year has just been terrible. It's to be able to go make that human contact with people again. Like-minded people. At that. So what was it like? You said it was earlier. You said it was kind of smaller than you thought it was, which is to be expected considering not everybody could, go. What was it like to be able to go and be around people again, in that setting?
Well, one of the interesting situations there was not at the con itself. I mean, the con itself we'll go back to that, but we went to an IHOP for lunch or for dinner on Friday, I think it was. And I realized I had not been in a restaurant for a year and a half. I mean, Donna would pick up stuff from Arby's or something on the way, but that was the first time also I had actually been in any type of restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's freaky just to think that, wow, it's been this long since I sat down and had a Colorado omelet at a table with a server. That's a real freaky situation. You just go, wow, it's been that long. But to be able to go out and talk to people and just intermingle and just have fun and laugh. Of course, getting together. The last Filk Circle that we had been to was Larry Kirby's house, who actually shared a room with us down there. Very, very close friend of mine. And it was at his house for his birthday. Twice a year, we would have a house Filk, what we call on his birthday. And we would have one in March for his, unfortunately, late wife, Deborah, who was a fantastic person, wonderful person. She just had heart problems and she was gone. But we still do that as a memorial. So last March was the memorial Filk, the first one we had for her, because it took Larry, of course, a while to get over it. And the next day, on March 16th, because we did it the weekend of the 14th, March 16th, I was told not to come to work and I was working from home. So that was the last circle that we had been in. I mean, we've done virtual circles and stuff like that, but it's not that spontaneity. And you don't have that, interplay in between that you have in a regular. You play a song, you chat for a few minutes, you go off to the next person. Where like the 2 nights that we opened Filk, you know, we sat there, we discussed things, we laugh, we play, you know, tell stories here and there, and you know, it was just more of an interactive, you know, all your friends, and there was only about 4 or 5 of us in there, and so, but it's still great. It was still great. Oh, and I did want to mention that one thing. Mention advance over the weekend that on Wednesday mornings, I think I'll be starting it in 2 weeks, at 9 o'clock Eastern time, I'm going to release 1 song a week of some of my filth. And Donna and I, or me, will release it, and it'll be set to release at 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesdays. So hopefully that will bring some views and, you know, Rotten Tomatoes. But, you know, just remember, this is all for fun. And we have, you know, a lot more planned on the channel, as Vance said. So.
Yeah, like everything we do on the channel is for fun. Like we don't make money off of it. We're not here to be the biggest channel or the most viewed. We're just here to, you know, have a good time and you know, if you know, kind of inspire you guys to, hey, we like this, let's do more of this, or let's, you know, we're just having a good time. You know, so you know, we hope you guys do too, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, being in that environment, you did the filking, which, you know, that kind of, you know, when I first heard, you know, Filk Ferret, I I had no idea what you were talking about in any capacity, and now I have some hint, some glimmer of so I'm curious. I really am, because I still don't feel like I've scratched the surface of what that is all about. So I'm curious to see, you know, Wednesdays at 9 when you finally put something out. I kind of want to sit there because I'll be waiting with bated breath.
But I also, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, but also why we were there is because we were pushing Crossroads, and we were pushing, you know, I had the TV set up, and because we're trying to build a chair and a nap console, I decided to see if we could get a little bit of donations. And I'm happy to say I made $6 in donations. But it's a start, you know, you never know. Because, well, you know, wood and stuff has gone up a little bit. But it was pretty well received. We played you know, all of the films that I've been in with Vance that is put together, helping us. And I don't think I've ever really publicly thanked Vance, but I'm going to do so now for assisting me with my, you know, return to fandom. Even though he hated me in the beginning, which I understand, and so I poked back the drones, so he doesn't have to worry about those anymore. But I really, this is from the heart. I love you, brother. I mean, I really think that you and I have really struck up a fantastic relationship, and I'm looking forward to a lot of fun in the future. And, you know, you really mean a lot to me, you and your family. I know Donna loves Royce. You know, she'd take him in an instant. You know, we'd raise him to be another geek like you're raising him, but he's great. He's great. She loves it. As a matter of fact, I forgot to tell you, Sunday she's running around with a shirt on like this.
That's awesome, man. No, it's likewise, man. Like the thing is, like I've never questioned the decision to join with you. You know, I was a little nervous at first when I asked, you know, to join with you, just because, like, that's a huge step to merge with someone, you know. But I've never doubted whether that was the right decision. Just because it's like I feel like we're like-minded, you know. And I've had a couple people ask, you know, so what does this change for your productions? And I'm like, absolutely nothing. Like I don't tell him how to do Crossroads. He doesn't tell me how to do Constar.
We're
you know,
there to collaborate if we want to, you know.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I think when, you know, like the you know, I kind of got a wild hair up my ass when I came up with the idea of asking the people, you know, hey, you want to do a show on my channel? And then like the next day I was like, hey Frank, I I owe you an explanation / apology, you know, because it's, you know, because I hadn't talked with you because I'm not used to doing that. But and you were like, no, it's a great idea, you know. But like again, it's one of those things where like I realized, you know, I need to go talk to my partner because I do see you as a partner for the channel, you know. But no, like you know, I love being able to talk to somebody who thinks along the same mindset, you know, and that was why, you know, I never thought you would have had a problem with that, you know. You know,
Matter of
it's
fact, I
wonderful.
thought it was. I wish I had come up with the idea to tell you the truth.
Well, it's great to have somebody to bounce ideas off of and be like, you know, just like the other day when we were talking with Randy on, you know, and you were like, if somebody wants to write this, you know, and I'm like, oh man, you've got to plant that fucking seed, dude. Really? Like I don't have enough on my plate. Thanks, dude. Because now I feel compelled to be like, damn it, I want to go write this thing for damn it, you know. Um, you know, it's wonderful to be able to work with someone who pushes you in a positive direction and yet, you know, can take the good and the bad and doesn't sit there and go, fuck this drama queen, you know. Because you know, I know being locked inside my own head, I know I sit there and go, shit, I'm being dramatic, you know. So no, it's
And I can be that way too. And we've had those discussions. So that's what I think it is. You and I are open with each other. We both know our demons.
yeah, it really like it's I think it's that mutual respect, you know. We both know where the other stands, and it's like, yeah, yeah, that common ground. Yeah, yeah, no, it's the love and respect, you know. Yeah, it's the same from this side, man. So you got to push, Crossroads down there a little bit, kind of show them what you have. Um, what was the response from what was shown?
Well, from the few comments, of course, you know how it is when you're at a convention, people are looking at things. But for the few people who stayed around and watched it, they really loved, you know, the sets, the stories. I did get one of our friends who has been doing photography for ages at conventions. He's wanted to get into video. And I was talking to him and I said, look, since you live in the same town we do, he works at the post office like Donna does. I said, well, we get up and going. Do you want to play around and be, you know, work on doing the video for us and stuff like that and learning it that way and, you know, we'll do things together. He said, yeah, so it looks like I've got a possible DP to help, you know, to do the filming. Another one wanted to do some background acting, if so. So I'm slowly building the interest around here. Now, coming in June, we have Con Carolinas, and that's going to be a big push because Con Carolinas is my area here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we are going to have a big table there. I've got a couple of people that are coming down. Michael Day may be down here to help me, also one of our other producers on the show. And yeah, there's 3 producers of Crossroads. I've asked Vance to be a producer because of all the help and my very good friend Michael Day from the Farragut days. And so I'm the exec, and those 2 are my minions. Is that making sense?
That's why I'm wearing yellow.
Yeah, no,
I'm wearing yellow.
I got to get you. No, it's seriously, you know, actually, when you take a look at it, I take suggestions from everybody in the world because I just want to put out a good product, put a good product out. And Vance, I've entrusted with that because I trust him completely. For me to ask him to be a producer, you have to understand what that means to me. I mean, it may be just a title, but to me, it's a sign of how highly I respect you. And in this case, how much I love him. Michael's been with me for a long time, but these 2 guys are fantastic people, real fantastic people. And
Well, that's the thing. You've been from everything, like you're in my conversations. You've been really open to suggestions, and you're like, this is kind of the direction I want to go. Um, let's what do we need to do to get there, and just listen to the suggestions of other people. Like it's kind of like the Captain Picard method. And I've always found, at least for me, I have the same mentality with my actors when I'm like, this is the story I want to do. And then when the actors come up with something, they're like, well, what do you think about this? And I'm like, oh, I like that. Let's try that. And that's, that is a very Captain Picard way to produce. Not saying you take everything under advisement, but you listen to everything and you're like, well, this works, this doesn't. Let's try this. Because again, especially the more you're around a certain actor who's played the part, that Ian Mitchell says, I have a suggestion, Frank. Buy a better quality pole grease.
Do you have a suggestion?
So that's the that's the thing. Like any good producer will listen to, if like an actor has that suggestion, like, hey, how about this? Especially like I said, if they've been playing the part for a while, they know that character, and a producer sometimes will get so focused on one thing where the actor, they have that perspective and going into something, whereas outside producers will look at something and say, well, how about this? So when you take all those things into account, that's just smart, and
Animal
sometimes
birthing gel.
what are they talking about?
Animal birthing gel.
Steve Atwell says lard works fine. James says you could use Crisco. Either that or animal birth. God damn you guys.
Lord, what have I started?
Why are you guys the way you are?
Oh, Lord. Well, at least we have fun.
Michael, I think I'm in the wrong group, Michael.
All in favor?
See, that's the thing. I'm trying to ignore the chat as I'm describing like what we're talking about, and then you just full off. You're like, "Fuck Vance, I'm going to read the chat. This is much more interesting."
No, I just happened to look down there and I went, "What?"
Michael, I don't know what you walked into. I'm not sure what we stayed into. This is.
We were talking about the convention, and I assure you there was no grease balls there.
Michael comes into the chat and all he sees is greased pole, Crisco grease, birthing gel. What the fuck? What? Damn.
So we were discussing. And I won't look at the chat anymore.
You listen to people. That's it. Yeah. Definitely not conventional. So, yeah. So you had a good time at the convention is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically. Oh, and can't talk about it now because we have to get all the stuff together. But we are working something with that interesting, more out to Facebook. Jim Nettles. I'll give you a hint. Yeah. So we have something in the works right now. I can't talk about it right now until I get everything down. But when this comes out, I think it's going to be exciting. It's something that's going to add to the channel, or at least add to our craziness and being able to, show a little bit more out there. So we are working with something, and hopefully it will come out well. It's going to work out well for one channel maybe, and definitely for us.
Showing something a little bit more out there. Like, I bet you that just drove Ian nuts.
Exactly. Yeah, it's Facebook, not the other one, okay? Just want to make this perfectly clear. There's no hubs involved.
Crazy. So with that in mind, what for Crossroads, where exactly do you see the show going? Because you are about to release, you've been in pre-production for, actually you've been in production for what, a few months now?
Yeah, at least two. I think we started filming about 2 months ago. Randy is doing some of the editing. I am just waiting basically right now for 2 scenes to be shot. And from my understanding, they were supposed to have shot them this weekend, and I haven't really caught up to them yet. I know one of the people that is filming is off this week because she told me that, and the other one told me that they were finishing it up this week, and then I just have to send her a note. After that, what I want to do once we get that all together is, I know it's going to take a while for us to do the bridge and a couple other things. I'm looking at doing some possible, to keep the interest up, films that, deal with maybe more landing party-ish or stuff pre-ship, where we, get together and have some type of small adventure before we get on board the ship, or we'll work it out. I've got to sit down there. I want to talk to you, see if I can bounce some ideas off of you and see what we can get. Because I want to keep the momentum going. And, what I'd like to do, one of the things I'd like to do is that one where a very short with Tamero and my Andorian. That is, I don't know if you've had a chance to read that thing that Donna put together. Yeah, I did. Yeah, and maybe trim that down, maybe make it a little bit of a shorter, little bit longer episode, and maybe put a few other things in it. And we'll see. But our big hit's going to be at Con Carolinas. If there was any way in heck I could get you there, I would in a heartbeat. Yeah, but we'll be pushing that out there. Basically, right now, to be perfectly honest, the only thing that's really holding us up with actually doing the building is we're trying to get our hands on some halfway decent price plywood to start building. And that's the only major holdup we're having right now. I've got, stuff put aside for the build and construct, but finding this stuff is near impossible right now. I'm thinking of maybe having to do some green screening, but we'll have to see how that goes. I mean, we've pretty much mastered the green screen. In a lot of respects. I mean, there's still a lot of work to do on it. What I would love to be able to do is find a big green screen studio around here at a reasonable price and do something in there. So.
Well, I think the one with I think for me personally, because that was the reason why you'll notice in the very beginning when I started doing the Valiant. When Menard was having his earlier adventures, you'll notice he was doing like a lot of landing parties. He was always Menard the Valiant, because like that's all I had access to. Or you would see Menard sitting in his, crew quarters or ready room with like just the blank slate, cardboard piece. He'd always be in his ready room or his, crew quarters or whatnot. Uh, and people would always say, "Man, he's sitting in his office an awful lot." I'm like, "Well, that's all I have." Now, I've got the green screen. I've got my background over there. I'm no longer restricted to what I have. Back in the day. So I think looking at what you have available, you can hide an awful lot. Having landing parties, with Grissom going around. Yeah, no, Michael's absolutely right. Location is a challenge, but rewarding. Absolutely. And to me, I think that actually is a lot more fun than it used to be. Everybody, they want to be on the bridge of the ship or they want to be in a corridor. To me, it's like just going out and having a landing party. The challenge is like, how do we shoot this without getting wind? Hitting in the mic. To me, having a good landing party is its own reward. Especially telling a good story with like Tameril and Grissom or whatnot. To me that can tell a very human story. That's one reason why like I write my scripts, and anyone who has seen my scripts can attest to. I just write dialogue, and then wherever we put it, whether it's a ship, on a planet, or whatever.
I got a white shepherd. Oh. Just came in. My white wolf. Hey, little guy. Oh. How you doing?
He's only 84.5 pounds.
He's only 84. He looks like he's 90. All righty. Say hi to everybody.
Hey.
Donna just brought you.
Hey, Donna.
We just got
Yeah, you can bring her in the house, and I'll take her out here, him out here in a little bit.
Okay. Come on, babe. Let's go.
Yeah.
So Michael asks, is he greasy?
Is he greasy? No, actually, he's wet and muddy. He is. I'll tell you, he's a long-haired white shepherd, and I call him my white wolf. I mean, he is 84 pounds. I thought he was more like 90. He is getting bigger. What I was going to say, actually, originally, Anchors Away, we were not going to do on the set. We had set up a place here in Charlotte to do it, and then that area was a place where one of the actors worked, and for some reason, the company all of a sudden came up and said, no, we can't do this because of insurance reasons. So that's why we eventually ended up doing it actually, we did it a day after a Farragut Fest, and man, that was a hell of a day because we shot like 12 to 13 hours. I will never do that again because everybody gets exhausted, but we were trying to get it out of the way. So I have no problems with location shooting as long as there's a good story with it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be outside. If I can have something and set up and have a reason to have it, what I want to make sure is it's not too cerebral. I have a little bit of action on it because I take a look at Anchors Away. There's a lot of things I wish I had been able to do in that because that was kind of piecemeal together because it was our first time out. I give Randy Landers a lot of credit for the original piecing that together because I thought that was going to get thrown out completely. And Randy did a hell of a job on it, and I thank him profusely on that. And then I guess Gary did some editing on that afterwards. However, I want to make sure that whatever the story is, sort of like, what the storyline with Donna's is and what she's trying to portray. I'll give you a little incident. My stepdaughter, or my daughter Carolyn, has a balance problem, and she plays an Andorian, and it's a balance problem that they're trying to find out what it is. So her character has part of her antenna nipped, and we know that the balance area in the Andorians is their antenna. So we're trying to you know, to bring that out as her disability to, you know, bring awareness to that type of thing. And I think that's a good messaging, you know, in these fan films. If you can find something like how Jordy was blind in A Navigator, how Tracy is deaf,
right.
she's a communications officer. Those are the types of things that I think bring to the story. You know, it's not just, oh, I'm here, I'm human, I'm not the super person that you think. You know, I'm not the James T. Kirk. You take a look at it. Menard has his demons. Grissom has his demons. We're humans. We have things. We're not perfect. We're those like Picard. I mean, Picard has his demons. More humanistic.
Well, it shows that even though humanity has progressed, we're still flawed and we still have things to overcome, and that's something that people can still grasp onto and relate to, and that's something that, you know, it's as much as I enjoy Next Generation season 1, it's one of the problems with the series of season 1 is like Gene Roddenberry wanted humanity to be this kind of perfection, that you can't really relate to those characters. You know what I mean? And now Michael says, Vance, remember the wolf in Arkansas? I do remember that. They had the wolf on the sets as they were walking through. I do remember that. Yes.
Yappa can play that next time.
Right. Jim's Landscape says, Vance, any news on the Pretender? Not at the moment. We still are getting people. Part of the problem of having such a large film is you have a lot of moving pieces. So we're still getting all those pieces in order, trying to shoot. That's sadly part of the thing of sometimes you have to run to you know, wait. So we're still waiting for some of those pieces to be put in order. Now I know George is filming and getting his current film edited. Once he does that, he should be doing his part for Pretender. But we're still waiting for some of the other pieces to be put in order for those. So we're still waiting for some of the pieces for the Pretender. Once all those are in, I can look at everything and then see, okay, now how exactly am I going to film my stuff? Because a lot of it is waiting on my character, since my character has probably the most to do in it, and I don't feel comfortable filming my part until everything else is done, and then I can sit there and see, okay, how do I need to? Because it's to be in the Phantom's head. I have to see how everything else is shot, because if it's not done exactly how, you know, like if they say a line wrong, or if they say it a little bit off, then it changes how we should portray it. So I have to be in the right mindset, and it has to make perfect sense, especially playing such an evil character. And I have to be in that right mindset. And I especially playing him, I don't like to do reshoots, because going to such a dark place, that's not something that I want to just, it's not something I can just like snap into and then snap out of. I have to go to some pretty dark places to play that character. So I do all that at one time and then I walk away from it. So I will wait till I get all the pieces and then do it all at one time. And usually I do it when Mona and Royce are sleeping, and then go do it. So again, that's going to have to be it's going to have to be a sit and wait until I get everything in. So I'm just sitting and waiting. So
there are two things in the comments. Can you go up to Lady Q where she says here in Florida?
Yeah, let me go up. Yep.
Yeah. You know, it's on that particular case, Dreadnought Dominion has a real good situation, because one of the schools in that area in Kingsland, their drama department or their theater department went out and actually in there made a huge green screen room, and they don't charge Dominion at all to use that. It's for the school use. And so that is one possibility I've been thinking of. But thank you. I figured it was around that, around the 800, you know, that should be per day, I would think. Yeah, MCI to, okay. And that was the other thing. Now, there's two. There was one from Korath about tickets, and now I see Lady Q. When I was looking at it, I must have been looking at it differently because I was coming up with some really high price tickets. I don't know why. If I could find something like that, I would bring the whole three of them out here if I could. You know, Mona and Royce and him. But that's the thing. Yeah, I know it's a 16-hour drive. I've also looked at that. Yeah, I saw that too, Cora. But yeah, thank you for that information. I'll have to go back. If you guys can, if you have me on your Facebooks, if you can ping me the sites you found those flights or, you know, where you're going, I'd really appreciate it. I really would. That's for a 40 by 40 one. Yeah. Yeah. What site did you look on? Because I was looking at it, and it was finally turned out to be cheaper to go to Atlanta and then go to KC. I must say, you have two airports in KC?
I don't know. Mona always deals with that stuff. I get a headache and I get anxiety every time I think about airplane like, I don't know. I'd rather drive because I hate air. I'd rather drive 18 hours to go to Georgia than I would go into the airport because I hate I hate airplane. I hate the airport because I get anxiety.
Okay, well, it's a thought. We'll talk about that. But thank you, everybody, for that.
Like we have an airport like right outside Manhattan here.
Yeah.
But it's really expensive. But I mean, it's like 10 miles from my house. But I mean, like I said, it's more expensive. Like I said, and there's like no. There's like, I mean, you literally walk like 10 minutes to it, and but yeah, I don't know. I hate airports. Okay. I don't know. Like I hate traveling. Like, I mean, that's why like Mona loves to travel, but I mean, I think again, like my idea of traveling is like sitting in front of the computer and like Googling images and then being like, you know, taking a picture in front of it and going like, hey, Statue of Liberty, hey, Grand Canyon, hey. You know, like I hate it because like my idea of a vacation is like I work my ass off like 72 hours a week. I just want to sit on my couch and binge watch Netflix. Like just leave me alone and let me order pizza and be like not thin. So like, you know, I don't want to go stress out, you know. And like her idea is like how stressed can I make my husband for a week, you know?
Okay, well, you get yourself a convention out there, and I'll go that way.
I will throw a convention in my front yard that will be like Frank's Greasy Pole.
Do you have one?
I will make one. My neighbors are going to be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Oh my god.
Okay, thanks, Lady Q. Oh, so now that we're completely off topic, which I can't understand why you and I are always spot on.
What are you talking about? We are dead on. The topic just changes. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Anywho, on that note, I'm gonna go take a nap. So
I think you should go take a nap.
Because I walked 5 miles last night and I am exhausted. Like I had like a foot cramp and I had to walk it off this morning. Like I was like, "Come on, Royce, let's go to school." I don't wanna. Life's not fair. I'm like, dude, I got a foot cramp. Let's go, boy. Walk it off, son. Ugh.
So I'm just going to put a plug in for, we do now have a public page for Crossroads on Facebook. It's under Crossroads, yeah.
Okay.
Just missed it again. You can watch it on the reruns, though. I don't know. You might not want to.
You've missed a lot of exciting adventure, fools suffering. So many good things to come for you. Oh, joy. All right, and with that in mind, everybody be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.
Take care, guys.